Hello, good morning, happy Sunday. My name is Jackie. I am the founder of Kreativ and an artist here in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Today I'm going to be taking you step by step through a really cool drawing. Here it is, Gnome. I'm going to encourage you to make it your own, so start thinking about some ideas. What colors you want to use, what you'd like to add, make it your own. I've loved seeing all of your artwork. Thank you so much for sharing it with me. They're just fabulous. The ideas that you guys come up with, your talent, you guys are just fabulous artists. So thank you so much for coloring with me and creating some really cool artwork. While we're waiting for our friends to join us, let's just take a moment to think about our workspace. I think it's really important whenever I'm creating. I want to make sure I have everything I need, all my materials that I'm going to be using, maybe a drink and a couple snacks. I've got mine. And also, so let's talk about it. I have a piece of brown paper on my table. This will protect my tabletop, and it's also a great tool to try things out, make notes, and it's right there for me. So it protects my table, and it's also a great way to get some ideas out. Having whatever you're using, your medium, right? Today I'm using my 16 pack of Crayola crayons, but it's kind of hard to have them all just, thrown all over my table or unorganized. So I like to have them all grouped by color and just right there for me. So I don't have to look for one. One's not gonna go underneath my chair. Well, maybe I'll drop one, but I'll hopefully pick that up. And but I'll just have everything right there for me. I'll be able to see what I have. Another thing to think about is when you're planning your piece of artwork out. I think about what colors I'm going to be using. You could just decide as you go, or you could pull a few colors and create a nice kind of like a palette of colors that you're going to be using, so you don't really have to think too much about which color should I use. You already kind of have it planned out. I'm going to do that today with my gnome, with all my each part of my drawing, just so I don't have to think about it too much, but feel free just to go for it. Make sure you have your sharpener if you're using colored pencils. And one more thing, we talked about this already, but sometimes our crayons, our markers, our colored pencils, our paint does not look the same in the tube, or the outside of it doesn't look exactly like what it actually is. So I always kind of do a little test of all my colors before I start, just so I know what I'm working with, and it's actually kind of fun too. So have fun, make it your own. I'm so excited to see what you guys come up with. And I have also a few sheets of paper. I have one that I'm going to kind of play with, and one that's actually going to be my artwork. And let me just get my camera set up and we will start. Remember to post a picture of you and your artwork, or your artwork, in the comments below when you are done. And I hope you have a wonderful time. So here we go. All right, let me set this up. Hi, Joe. All right, cool. And so I have gotten some ideas from you guys. This one was from my friend, Kate. She sent me a few pictures and I said, I love it. So this is what I came up with. I also heard someone mentioned that they wanted to do something with horses. I will be coming up with one with horses for you, and a butterfly garden. I think that's a great idea. So if you have any ideas, please let me know. All right, so we have our workspace all set up and ready for us. One other thing we've always been working with is our finger, and this is where we're going to find out where things belong, right? So in this drawing here, I have a lot going on. I want to make sure I have enough room for my hat. I want to make sure I have enough room for my whole gnome. And then I want to make sure I have enough room for my mushroom house. So this is where we really have to kind of start planning out. So get all your stuff ready. Ready? All right, here we go. So, finger. I'm going to just kind of figure out where my placement is. So I want to make sure I have enough room for my hat, my gnome, just picturing it on my paper, picturing where my mushroom's gonna go. All right, yeah, I think I have that kind of all set out. And I'm going to pick up I'm gonna do like an orange outline of my gnome, and I'm gonna do it pretty light, and then I'm gonna go in with my color. So you can choose whatever color you'd like. I'm just going to do my orange just so I can add different colors to it after I get it all drawn out. So my gnome is going to start off with just an oval. So this is going to be like the head to the toes, the whole part of my gnome. So I'm going to make sure again with my finger creating that oval that I have enough space for my hat. All right, I see it, I like it, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lightly make my oval. It's kind of like a little egg. It's kind of cute. See that? Perfect. And I'm going to then go ahead and start creating my hat. So really think about how you want your hat to go. Do you want it to go straight up? Do you want it to flop down? Do you want it to be kind of wiggly? Do you want it to just be like a pom-pom hat? So decide on what kind of hat you want. Maybe practice on your paper or on your scrap piece of paper. But I'm going to do this one here. So I'm going to create like a curve for the bottom rim of my hat. And this is going to be at the top of that oval that we just created. So it's kind of like a frown. Or like our arch for a rainbow. And then I'm going to give it, just like we've done for our fishbowl, for our pot of gold, we're going to add those little corners. You're going to notice that we're kind of using like the same shapes. Did you notice that in these drawings? Which is kind of cool to kind of build off of and make other things with it. All right, so that's that for so far. We're going to then create the point of my hat. I'm going to go up. I'm going to flop it down on your way, and the same thing here. All right, cool. I'm going to do the top of my rim. How'd your hat go? Did you have it flop a little bit different? All right, so I'm going to leave that like that for now, and I'm going to add my nose, which is an oval. Awesome. And I am going to create my beard for my gnome. You could do one really long. You don't have to do one if you don't want, but I'm going to use my crayon. I'm going to make a light, and I'm going to make it kind of a little shaggy, and I'm going to have a little curl at the bottom. And I can always change that a little bit. Hi, Kate. I always can add a little bit more texture, and we will do that a little bit later, but just kind of getting the drawing out. So I have my beard, my nose, my hat, and I'm going to add my little hand here because I want that to really stand out, and if I color that with my shirt color first, then I'll lose my hand. So right around here, I'm just going to make an oval. That's his little hand. I'm going to do the other hand over here. A little circle, oval. Awesome. And I'm going to put this guy down, and I'm going to start working on my gnome with adding some color. So I am going to do a red hat. We talked about doing layers, so if you wanted to do multicolor, you just want to add a light layer, light pressure with your crayon, and then go back over it with a different color to add a layered effect or a multicolored effect. I'm going to go kind of hard on my red because I want it to be pretty bright, and I can always add. I'm going to do outlines on this this drawing. You don't always have to, but today I'm going to. All right, I'm just going to take this down. Let me just make sure you can still see. Hold on. think I had too much coffee. All right, can you still see? Yeah. All right, so I'm going to start filling this in. And if you lose the rim of your hat, don't worry about it, because like I said, you can always add that outline later. All right, cool. I am going to move down to my nose. I'm going to be using brown, and I'm just going to go very light with it. You could choose, you know what, actually would even be cool to do 2 layers. Let's do 2 layers. I'm going to do brown, and then I'm going to add that a little bit of orange. Let's see what that does. That's cool. And I'm going to outline that as well, so I'm just going to let that be. Now for my beard, let's really play with some texture here. I'm going to pick up my black crayon, and I am going to lightly fill in my little beard. Does yours also have like a mustache? I've seen that. That looks kind of cute too. Is yours gray? Did you decide to do a different color? All right, so I kind of did a light, and now I'm going to add just some texture by just creating some little lines, and I'm pushing down a little bit harder. Kind of fun. And I am going to give it an outline while I'm here, and this is where you can kind of define your shapes of your beard edge. And while we're here, why don't we just go ahead and outline the rest of my hat as we go up. Does yours have a pattern to it, your hat? That'd be kind of cool. All right, so I'm going to create a shirt and some pants and some shoes. I'm going to be using my light blue, I'm going to be using my dark green, and I'm going to do black shoes. And I'm going to pick up my light blue, and I have a little elbow coming out here because he's going to be holding my flower. So to create that, right here, I'm just going to add kind of like a, almost like a triangle point, right? Cool. I'm going to start filling this in. Again, if you want to do that multicolored layer look, go light and then do, whoop, oh my goodness. I'm going to make sure I have my shirt room there. So I almost got carried away. So I'm going to do a curved line right there, leaving enough room for my pants. And maybe it kind of flips out on the edge. Maybe his shirt does. Okay, whew, that was a close one. I'm just going to start, like I was saying, filling this in. If you wanted to do that double layered look, just go light and then do a second coat on top. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up my color of my pants, and I'm going to actually draw, if you're going to be doing black shoes, you can definitely do this. It is being recorded. It's, it will replay, you'll be able to watch it again on my Facebook page after we finish. And, okay, so I'm going to, sorry, I just saw that question pop up. And so I'm going to be doing black shoes, so I can use my green to outline, and then I can go over it. So I'm going to outline my shoes. There they are. Now I can go ahead and fill in my pants. Again, you can do that multicolored look by doing a light coat and then doing another coat on top of it. Cool. And I am going to pick up my black and I'm going to fill in my shoes. Okay. And while I'm here, I can add any details I'd like and outline the rest of my gnome. I'm going to fill in my hand too. I'm going to use that same combo that I did for my nose, which is going to be that brown, nice and light, and maybe even a little bit of that orange. I forgot my sleeve for my gnome over here. There he is. Now he's happy. And I'm going to give him like he has like almost like a belt on. And I curved that belt, and that creates, because he likes his treats just like I do, so he's kind of round. So that's what that curve here is creating, the illusion of him being kind of round. I'm going to add an outline for my hands, and I think he looks super cute. Maybe my pants I can add. All right, cool. So, what's next? Let's go ahead and start working on our mushroom. So my mushroom is also a house for my gnome, and I'm going to be using red. Maybe take a moment and think about what color, purple, blue, green, whatever color you'd like. I decided to do red because I really wanted it to pop, because I have a lot of green in my background and I also have blue in my sky. So I chose red. And again, I'm going to use my finger to create my arch, to find the placement of my mushroom and how big I want it. And I'm going to go ahead, now this is another curve, just like an arch of a rainbow. I want to make sure that my gnome is sitting or standing on the mushroom. So I'm going to start right above his shoe edge, and I'm going to come down. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. If you do it light, you can kind of do it almost like as a sketch, right? Alright, there it is. I'm then going to do a nice little curve on the edges, and I'm going to create that smile for the bottom edge. And I'm going to go very light, and I'm going to do the sides of my, the base of my mushroom. I'm going to just kind of picture it. I'm going to kind of let it do that, and I'm going to give it a bottom. Cool. Alright, before I start adding my color, I want to think about my dots. Are you going to do dots? Are you going to do, actually, flowers would be cool. You could do whatever you like. I'm going to do polka dots at the top of my mushroom. Maybe your mushroom is like a rainbow color, or like a tie-dye look. That'd be really neat. But I'm going to stick with my polka dots. I am going to continue with my red, and I'm going to make just some circles. Some that are all the way in my mushroom, and some that are like poking out from the sides. Right? Maybe there's one here. I think I need one more. And another. Never too much. Too many. Alright, cool. So I'm going to start filling in. I just did red here. I think I'm going to do a red-orange combination. And I'm going to start filling that in. So I'm going to lightly... So when you want to do that multicolored look, if you... see how you can see like your paper and like the color, right? When you do your first layer, then your second color will fill in those white spots, and it just creates this cool look. So here I go. So start thinking about, and if you have other materials and you want to play with those, and maybe I can show you a few things, let me know what you've got. I was thinking of doing some painting. You want to do that with me? So I'm filling in with my red. I'm going to switch over. I have a red-orange. I'm going to add a second layer to that. That's cool. your time. Shake your hand out every once in a while. Cool. All right, so I'm gonna think about what color, if I want to color in my polka dots. I just might do that. But I'm gonna move down to like the house. I'm going to put down my orange, I'm gonna pick up my brown, and I'm going to add my door. I'm gonna do an arch. I'm also going to do a little window in my door, which is going to be another small little arch. I'm going to fill in, leaving that window. I'm going to put some light in there, so I'm going to put some yellow in there. Can you see some wood green? Remember how we talked about that? And that looks good. I'm going to go ahead before I change crayon color. I'm going to put my window in. Does your window have shutters? And what color are they? I think that would be kind of cool. Actually, I'm going to do that because I really want to do that. Alright, I'm going to pick up, I'm going to do the same color as I did my shirt. And I'm going to just add some shutters because that sounds fun. Why not? Cool. Alright, I'm going to pick up my yellow and I'm going to add a little bit of light inside of there. Add a doorknob. Nice. Cool. I'm liking it. I'm going to do a light gray for the my base of my mushroom. You could do maybe a brown, a light brown. I'm going to just start lightly shading in. And maybe giving it a little bit of an outline, if you'd like. Very cool. I'm going to add a walkway while I'm here. And to make it look like it goes further back, I'm going to make it a little skinnier by the door, and as it comes closer to the edge of the paper, I'm going to get it a little bit wider. That will create, this is going to be closer and that's going to be farther away. So I'm going to just start kind of the width of my door, and I'm going to find that curve, picture it first, draw it. So I have a bigger opening or where I'm walking into that. So to set me right back into there. I'm going to add like some little rocks pavers for my walkway. And all those are going to be are just kind of some circles or ovals. You could do brick, that'd be cool. Any other idea? So I pushed kind of hard to get my circles down. I'm going to do a light coat of the black, and I'm going to switch and I'm going to do a light coat of the dark blue. Kind of give it my rocks a little bluish color. Very cool. Alright, I'm going to go back up to my gnome, and my gnome's going to be holding a flower. Maybe yours is holding a sign, or maybe your gnome is holding some balloons. Mine's going to be holding this really pretty flower. And I am going to start by using my yellow crayon. I'm going to do the center. So first, like we've been talking about, using our finger to kind of find out where that placement is of our flower, right? And I'm going to add the center of my flower. So I'm going to say that, just make a kind of an oval or a circle. Mine's going to be over here. I'm going to actually use my yellow for my first part of my stem. I'll go back over it a little bit later with the green, but I'm just going to get this as like my placeholder. So it's going to go in my hand, it's going to go through, and I want my stem to kind of stick out. Cool. Alright, if you did the St. Patrick's Day drawing with me when we did our four-leaf clovers, we kind of did this heart-shaped leaf. I'm going to kind of do that with this one here. It's almost like a heart shape. The flowers come in all different shapes and colors, so you can make it however you like it. But just remember when we talked about doing our four-leaf clover, it's almost like doing a heart, right? And I'm just going to kind of do these hearts almost around my center of my flower here. You can do as many as you like. Mine are just these big, I have 4 of them. And just kind of be loose with that. But of course, like I said, there's all different kinds of flowers. So whatever makes you happy and whatever color makes you happy. I did a purple and red violet combo. I'm going to start with my purple. Switch on back. And I'm going to picture it, make sure I have enough room. If it's going to go behind my hat, that's totally fine. I think this one's actually going to have 5 petals. Cool. All right. So I'm going to start filling in. I'm going to do the same thing. I really like this layering. Think about the direction of how you're coloring. Maybe your edges are a little bit darker. Take your time. In your drawing, are you going to add like another gnome, or is there going to be like a little one here, down here? That would be kind of cool. Or a frog. Maybe there's a butterfly flying by, or a bumblebee. What else is in your garden? I'm going to go right over that stem because that stem is going to go behind my flower. Alright, I'm going to switch over to my red violet and do my second coat. Maybe there's like, sometimes flowers have these like darker parts right there. Second coat. And like we've been doing, why not? I'm going to add a little bit of orange to my center. Cool. And I will go and finish off my stem. And if you'd like, you can add maybe like the center vein in your leaf. Alright. And now we have all like the main part kind of in, and now I'm going to start working on my background. I'm going to put in my landline first, and I'm going to lightly do that with the light green. And this is just going to be like, this is my lawn, and then like there's like the garden in the background, right? So our gnome recently mowed his grass. That'd actually be kind of funny. I'm going to lightly go over the grass here, make it interesting by adding some other colors. Alright, I'm going to add a few more flowers in my garden over here, so I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do the same kind of technique on these. I did a little bit more of a pointy petal over here. Again, make your own however you'd like. I'm going to start with my centers. I'm going to add my yellow center here. While I have this crayon in my hand, I'm going to go ahead and get these in. I'm going to start with some pink. Or my red violet. Just going to be kind of loose with these flowers. Add my center line. And fill on in. Alright. And I'm going to add a little bit of the red orange in the center, and maybe even in my petals. And then do a purple flower over here. I'm going to do more of like an ovally. Those petals are off. When you do things like that, when you cut off on the edge, it kind of tells the viewer, the person who's looking at your artwork, that there's like more beyond the edge of your paper, right? There's more flowers. Maybe there's another gnome house. Alright, and I'm going to do my orange one. So I'm going to do pointy. Ooh. This is a wild one. Oh yeah. Cool. Alright, I'm going to fill this in. This is a big one. Adding my orange. I'm going to add the orange to my center again. And I'm going to go in with my darker orange, my red orange, and just add some details. Maybe a little bit of an outline. Start thinking about if you want to add anything else. Like take a lean back in your seat and just kind of think, what do I need to add? What do I want to add? Any ideas? All right, cool. I'm going to start working on my tall grass and actually some of my short grass as well. I'm going to start with my dark green, and I'm going to add some little pieces right around my house. So I start at the base of my grass and go up, just like what I'm doing when I'm painting. I find it works best. I'm curious, how many of you have some paint, some acrylic paint? Anyone have watercolors? Do you have paper or canvas? And I'm just going to start maybe giving that one a stem and giving some longer pieces back here. Alright, I'm going to switch over to my light green. Filling in kind of in between those dark pieces of grass, right? Because the dark ones, I can see the individual pieces, but my garden, my grass is really thick, and I know that there's so many pieces that would be, I wouldn't be able to see through it, so that's why it's kind of cool to show the individuals that are nice and close to us, but the ones that are farther away, I just kind of see as like a blur of green, right? Maybe there's some long ones back here with a little bit of green. And some here. Do you have some flowers at your walkway? Do you have a mailbox? What would your mailbox be? And now I'm going to go up to my sky. I'm going to add a sun over here. I'm going to use yellow. I'm going to just do a nice bright ball of sunshine. Maybe you can kind of show that there's this light coming from it and it's kind of dashing around, kind of like that. or you can do just spokes, kind of the lines coming right off, whatever you like. So Kate, you have paint and you have some small canvases. Awesome. I think it would be, ooh, and Jen, you have some paint and canvases or paper at home too. Awesome. I was thinking maybe we could do some painting. So I'll put something together for us. I'm going to switch over to my background color, which I'm going to do that blue sky. I'm going to do the dark blue since I did my light blue in my shirt. I think the last time we did like a right to left sky, I'm going to go up and down, just because. And I'm just going to slow down when I get close to, but I'm going to go down right into my grass area, in between my petals. Thanks so much for sharing my videos and posts. Thank you so much. It's crazy. Alright, so I'm going to turn my page and I'm going to start filling in this side. Now at this point, start thinking about any final details. Do you want to add some birds in your sky? I think I'm going to. Maybe you wanted to add some outlines here and there. Do you want to color in your polka dots in your mushroom, or are you just going to leave that paper white? Do you want to write the name of your gnome or your name? Definitely sign. I'm going to add a few birds. I always like to practice on my paper before I go up on my artwork. These are kind of, I'll do one here too. So slow it down. Really think about how big you want your birds to be, and I'm just going to do a curve and then a curve, curve and a curve. Alright, I'm going to do them small and I'm going to do them on different angles just to add some interest. 1, 2, and I'll add a third. Why not? Cute! I think I'm going to take 1 minute and I'm going to just fill in with, I'm going to do, let's see, I'll do a little bit of that light blue, why not, inside my polka dots. But thank you so much for coloring with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I think I'm going to go take a walk. And please send me your final pictures of your artwork. I hope you had fun, and let me know if you have any ideas for upcoming projects that you'd like to do with me, and have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye-bye.